What's up, everybody? Welcome to Ajax Reviews. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Now, there's a reason I haven't reviewed too many supernatural or ghost movies on this channel, and that's because I'm more of a fan of the slasher subgenre than I am of the supernatural or, say, ghost subgenre. But today, we're going to actually explore the differences and the similarities between the two and see if I can find some common ground and see if I can find some love for the ghost subgenre. To say I hate supernatural or ghost movies would be an inaccurate statement, although I lead people to believe that. I've been a horror fan since age 8, and I've seen thousands upon thousands of horror movies, and being honest, there are many supernatural movies that I actually enjoy. However, I believe that the surge in the ghost films have left a bad taste in my mouth. Literally, you can't swing a dead cat without hitting a ghost, haunting, or possession movie. You type in YouTube newest trailers and you're going to find that 90% of them are ghost movies. Let's find out why. You see, ghost movies create an atmosphere surrounded by the unknown, and they spend the majority of the movie explaining this whole thing, not really focusing on the characters, but really focusing on the story and trying to get to the source of the problem. Now see, ghost movies, they use a lot of jump scares and a lot of CGI to get a reaction out of the people watching the movies. And I feel that the reason people really like ghost movies is because they have this fear of the unknown. And what's more unknown than something you can't touch or see? Also, ghost movies like to use the element of surprise, which is why jump scares are a normal fixture in movies these days. Ghost movies like to use what's going on behind the characters, what's going on in the background, to create a feeling of uneasiness or uncomfortableness. They also like to use a lot of lighting and camera tricks to add to this feeling. Now, fans of the ghost subgenre are usually into mystery and creepiness rather than the horror and the gore. And so this leads me to believe, based on the research that I've done, that most fans of ghost movies are not fans of slasher movies. Now, slasher movies, they don't really spend a whole lot of time explaining the story. They mostly concentrate on character development and then just barely touching on the backstory of the villain. Slasher movies have a very basic yet strict formula, and if followed correctly, could make or break that movie. So slasher movies also use the background to create a feeling of uneasiness, just not to the extent of ghost movies. Ghost movies like to have the ghost kind of pop up behind the person, whereas slasher movies kind of keeps everything way off in the distance to where you barely notice it, to where if you really don't see it, you don't really miss anything, but it's there. A lot of the newer slasher movies have started taking cues from the ghost movies and overusing the hell out of the jump scares. However, they still do heavily rely on the creativeness of the kills and the blood and gore. So what exactly are the similarities? The use of lighting and backgrounds. Slasher movies and ghost movies alike like to show us what's going on in the backgrounds, in the shadows, with the light hitting things a certain way. If something happens back there and you miss it, it could be detrimental to you missing something important in the story. So always pay attention to what's going on behind the characters. The next thing, the unknown. A lot of ghost movies, you never even see the ghost. Whereas in slasher movies, it's the villain wearing a mask. Both contribute to the element of mystery or the unknown. Now, ghost movies can be slashers and vice versa. We've seen this in movies like Hatchet, Sinister, and a few other ones. But if they're both so similar that they can be integrated together like that, how can they be so different? As I said earlier, ghost movies mostly focus on the story. So I find myself not caring too much about the characters, but I find myself very interested in the plot. But slashers give me just enough to enjoy the plot and the characters. I either am rooting for them or I want to see them die. When slasher movies try to build too much story or build off of an existing story, we end up with movies like Jason Goes to Hell or Rob Zombie's Halloween. Yeah, I said it. Another thing is slasher movies are fun, where ghost movies really aren't. Let me explain. I've never watched a ghost movie and found myself cheering for the ghost. other than Beetlejuice, but that doesn't count. When I watch a slasher movie, I often find myself cheering for the killer. That's because the victims are usually either super annoying or just unlikable. But then that goes back to the slasher formula. Slasher villains are more marketable than ghosts. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, in a day and age where there are more collectors than there's ever been, I mean, look at Jason, Michael Myers, Freddy, Chucky. They're on action figures, t-shirts, video games, you name it, there they are. When's the last time you saw a ghost on a shirt? Not to say that it doesn't exist, because it could. But if it does, it's pretty rare. So in conclusion, ghost movies and slasher movies can and should coexist. Problem is the filmmakers are oversaturating the market with ghost movies. And when they do make a slasher movie, it's either a remake of a classic that doesn't need to be remade, or they dumb it down to try and attract fans of other subgenres. We like our slasher movies a certain way, so stop trying to dumb it down and add all this story that we don't care about. Leave that to the ghost movies. With slashers, we just want a mass killer killing people. That's it. Ghost movies, they're the ones that are meant to create this creepy, uneasy feeling, so stop overthinking it. After all this, do I feel like I can give ghost movies a chance? Absolutely. I've always liked ghost movies, just not to the extent of other people. I always keep mine at a limited capacity because my true love is slasher films, and the cheesier, the better. So I hope you guys have liked the content for today. If you have, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm always down to talk to you guys in the comments below. So until next time, guys, stay smart, stay clean, keep the dream, don't let the man get you down, because we can all coexist. That was kind of lame, right? Yes, it was.